What's up, you guys? It's me, Juliet, you Scorpion Goddess. It's been a minute, but I'm back for good now, I promise. My kids are now officially on summer break, and things are not as hectic. You know, we got past the holidays and all of that, so we're going to be doing What's Up with the Planets and Tarot of the Week for the week of June 20th all the way up until June 26th. So stay tuned if you're interested to know how the cosmos, what they have in store for us, and then what do the cards and spirit have to say for this week. What is going on, you guys? So it is June 20th as I'm filming this, and we're starting the week out with the moon in Pisces and then shifting in to Aries, which is perfect because it's a Monday and Aries is the starter and wants to get things done and get the ball rolling. But I'm going to be focusing on the two main transits of this week, and if you have your astrology journal, you can turn to where we have the month of June, and you will see where it says June 21st. It is not only the summer solstice, right? The first day of summertime, but it's also the beginning of Cancer season where the sun will transition into the sign of Cancer. Now, Cancer is a cardinal water sign. So cardinal signs all start on the beginning of a certain season. So with this being the beginning of summer, cardinal being a starter type of energy, and it being Cancer. Cancer is water, emotions, intuition, but it's also focused on the home, and this could be the home of your body and the home you live in, or where you proceed to put feelings of home and nurturing into. So whether you're a Cancer or not, you have Cancer somewhere located in your chart, and to figure out where that's at, that will help also pretty much give you an idea of how this Cancer sun energy will progress in your personal life. Now, for all of us, it's really going to be highlighting and focusing things that are Cancer energy, which is motherhood, nurturing, divine feminine energy, home life, caring, safety, protection, and, you know, being pretty guarded as well, because it's Cancer is the crab, so it's got this hard exterior, hard shell. It doesn't let people in, but it is very caring and giving and loving. So this is the time to really nurture the loved ones around you, but also nurturing yourself as well. Now, when we enter the summer solstice on the 21st, which is Tuesday, this is just saying that this is the longest day of the year, and now we're in that summer season. And I did put in this journal for each season we enter an affirmation or like a positive kind of quote. I came up on my own. So for this one, I actually put on this page right here where you'll write down all your goals, self-care, to-do memos for the summertime, things that, you know, you really aspire to get done and take care of, because again, cardinal energy, starter energy. So that's why this is where, you know, these are my goals for the next 3 months and all of that. So I put down the sun recharges my body, the rain recharges my soul, I am connected divinely. So using that can really help give you that push, especially when you're feeling low energy, because Cancer can get very overwhelmed easily. So, you know, like Janae Aiko said, I'll take some rain with my sunshine. So that's perfect energy and stuff to put in during this Cancer season and Cancer time. Now, when we get into Wednesday, right, we have Venus entering Gemini. So Venus is leaving its domicile home sign of Taurus and moving into its more playful and duality kind of sign in Venus. So this is going to give us more opportunities to connect and communicate within our relationships. Maybe we're going to want to have more conversations, meeting more people when it has to do with our finances and money, because Venus also rules finances and money as well. And with Gemini being that communicator, this is where we'll start to see for the next time up until it leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer, where we're going to be probably meeting new people and communicating more and networking a lot more where it comes to all different types of relationships. This can also be a time where you may be feeling a lot more playful if you are in a relationship, or if you're seeking some type of emotional connection. You may not have it such as an intense feeling, but more playful, lighthearted. This could be a great time for casual dating too if you're single. So Venus in Gemini is, again, great for communicating, getting out. You'll probably start feeling like you want to do new spontaneous kind of things, stuff you haven't tried yet before, because Gemini is a very curious being, and it always is down to try something new because it gets bored easily, you know what I mean? So Gemini and Venus will definitely keep you on your toes. And so with that being said, that's pretty much the major astrological transits of the week. I want to get into the tarot. So we're going to be pulling from the classic deck like we usually do, and I'll probably pull out some oracle cards as well. But this is a reading for everyone, general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest that does not. And share this with somebody you feel this may benefit to. So we have the Queen of Swords reversed. So this is the time where we're stepping out of having a sheltered mental chatter kind of thing going on, and this is the time where we're coming out of this quiet time. We're officially out of the post-shadow Mercury retrograde. So this is saying now is the time to take that step. We're leaving this, internal body kind of work and this internal mental chatter. It's time to step out of that and use what we have learned, these past lessons that we have learned throughout these 6 to 8 weeks when we were in this Mercury retrograde energy, because we had the pre-shadow, then the actual retrograde, then the post-shadow. Officially out of that now. So it's time to use the lessons we've learned from that time frame and get that executed out there externally. So if there's conversations that need to be had, this is the time where we're going to be finally feeling that. We have the King of Wands coming in too. So this is personalities. We're dealing with a lot of personality this week too. There could be some clashes, some bumping heads. There could be some conflict coming in. Maybe this is the time where you're going to be finally standing up and saying something to somebody who may have a dominant personality, or even a very strong masculine presence. This could be male, female, whatever, but this is a very dominant masculine energy, and we're also going to be honing on to this masculine energy to be giving that I'm stepping into this. I am the aggressor. I'm not going to be standing and waiting to receive. I'm going to be stepping out and chasing, hustling, going after what it is that I want. Seeing this as boundaries being put out as well. Somebody may be trying to cross your boundaries and you have to reestablish those. We have more reverse cards. See, there's a lot of personalities this week, so that probably has a lot to do with this Venus and Gemini transit, because again, that's like a lot of communication, a lot of people, so you may be dealing with more people than you typically do. We have the King of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups reversed. So you could be dealing with, especially my water and earth signs, this may be a tricky week for you, because we're dealing with a lot of like air and fire energy. So even though we are in this, it's time to step out of that place of the post-shadow Mercury retrograde with communicating more. This may be a time where you may be feeling more sheltered and protected of like, I'm establishing like these boundaries with myself, and I'm not going to open up to these people. Maybe you're getting overwhelmed this week. Maybe there's too many personalities around you where you feel like you're getting lost in that, so you want to stay home and comfort yourself in that space as well. This could be a time where you want to really confide more into maybe your parental figures, or people that are older than you that you may feel like comfortable with like talking to, kind of like in a therapeutic way, whether they're your parents or not. This could just be like, somebody who's like 10 years older than you, or like somebody you view as like a sister or a brother. You may feel like, I need to talk to this person because they can give me this, whatever it is that you're in search for. Like you need that safe space from somebody that you're in search for, because you may just be feeling very overwhelmed. This is this Cancerian energy too. We are feeling very protective of your own this week. So you may be wanting to just like focus on your home life, your kids. You could even be stepping into like closing out things from your childhood that had to do with your parents that, you know, I learned what not to do for my parents so I can do better for my own kids, or even yourself, and reparenting yourself as well. There's the Five of Swords coming in after all of this. This is saying it's like we're leaving old thought patterns and all of that stuff behind. You know, we've been through, I feel like the last week has just been like a lot. And I feel like this is the week where we're like finally catching up with being like, okay, it's after the full moon, the super full moon, and how have those things that you have released and let go of, how are they now coming together? Because I feel like this is just a big like a breakdown, breakthrough type of energy. You're releasing a lot of like dead weight. You're releasing a lot of like old, like growing up, whether you were on a team and like your coaches drilled some type of whatever into you, teachers, mentors, your parents, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers, your friends from your childhood. You're leaving the stuff that just, you're learning that these things that these people put in me wasn't me. And you're releasing those thoughts and ideas of what's been put into you and instilled in you and have been like brainwashed you. You're leaving those behind because you're like, the stuff that these people put in my head when I was growing up, or, you know, in your 20s, your 30s, whatever, you know, whatever it is, you were affected by something that multiple people put into your brain. You're like, that's not me. And that's where this, I feel like this like breakthrough, this mental breakthrough is coming in and saying, that shit that people put on me was not me. And I'm leaving that behind. And I'm using the sword to cut through and say, no, this isn't me. And I'm reestablishing my boundaries and leaving the stuff that you guys put onto me behind. Because it's not for, because it's not for me anymore. And like, you're coming into this new mental space this week. You're having these like, this like clarity come through. And sometimes clarity can be kind of messy. I'm picking up on also. So there could be some like messy kind of things happening this week. But this is a time where we're going to be, I think, journaling and writing a lot more stuff down as well. And like, I think there's going to be like, I feel like you're going to bump into like a stranger on the street or like at the park. And you're going to just have this like conversation. You'll never see the person ever again. But it's going to be like this therapeutic thing. And they're going to relate to you. I'm seeing with that as well. The Star card is coming in. This is a lot of air energy. There's a lot of air energy we're dealing with this week. It's all this like mental stimulation, this vulnerability coming out of this like the logic mind coming out and communicating. How can I be vulnerable with the thoughts that I have in me and relay that out there? And I think there's going to be something within your community as well coming out. The Ten of Swords and the Four of Cups. So again, it's this, you're letting go of these old thoughts, old ideas, old instilled things that have been put into you and releasing that. I feel like there's kind of like this like Tower moment energy coming in where we're like transforming, we're leaving these things behind. This is like the whole theme of this week is releasing, letting go of old thoughts, old ideas, old things that have been instilled in us from people in our lives. I may sound like a broken record at this point, but this is like the big, strong message for this week that Spirit just keeps is like, you need to drill this into them. They need to understand that the thoughts that they're having and this breakthrough that they're having needs to happen. You cannot keep doing the same thing and waiting for somebody else to change it for you. It has to come from within. And you have all this internal stuff that's been building up, right? All this stuff that's been building up, and it's time to let it out. It's time to let it out, and it's time to confine somebody that feels safe to you. Maybe, you know, a water sign, like a Cancer, especially it's Cancer season, or really going into your Cancer placements to really help understand what can I do to release these things to then nurture myself and make me feel safer and better in my body and in my home. How can you get into this grounding place and this foundation? Because sometimes you have to collapse everything. You have to rebuild your own foundation. And how can you do that? The Hierophant reverse. Let's see, I want some clarification. Why is the Hierophant reverse right here? The Ace of Wands. New opportunities, new energy. There could be some news coming from the government or people of power, the higher ups, and giving us new information, some shifts and changes that are happening. Prices, I'm seeing inflation. I mean, that has been already happening already, but there could be some more news coming out, some truth, or rediscovering, going back to what this truth is. But I'm picking more, this is more of like a government kind of thing, some kind of power, higher up kind of energy coming out. And I'm seeing people, like a gathering or something of people. Maybe there's like some protests or something happening, or putting things out there for people to fall in line with, saying, oh, even like some revelations and stuff. I'm hearing like truth is coming out. People are starting to come more together as like a collective mind to fight the higher power, the hierarchy that's like been crumbling down, and people just coming together. Keep an eye out for the news. I don't know. 9 of Cups with the Hermit, another 9. Yeah, this is like closing out. We're closing out something. There could be some news coming in about your own money, your own finances. You could be dealing with a Virgo or mutable energy in your life too. You may be wanting to go back more internally because maybe there's some kind of something you're trying to reach, and you realize that looking for on the outside of you, you won't find it. So you're doing some deeper digging within, and you need to be that light. That it's like maybe you're in search of like this like really great energy of like Gandhi or something, right? You're looking for like this Gandhi kind of energy around you, but you're realizing that while you're in search of it outside of you, you need to look more within and be your own Gandhi. And people will be, I feel like people are going to be very attracted to you this week. I feel like people are going to be more drawn to you. But I think this is more of attracting the right people. Because with all of this shifts and changes and releasing of old thought patterns, old ideas, lies, brainwashing that's been instilled in us, and we're doing this major shift and change, right? It's been this internal thing, and now we're starting to shine that energy outwardly, and it's attracting new kind of energy, new kinds of people coming towards us and giving us that spark of life back that we've been in search for. Like we felt so maybe dull and, you know, lacking something big that we've been in search for. And now we're getting that spark back because we found that once we fix ourselves within, it really starts to mirror and face us on the outside. And this is all about, yes, we had that hustle and going to get that what we want, right? We're doing that. But I think towards the end of the week, we're starting to reflect more inwardly and tap back into more of that law of attraction type of energy, where when you put the work in, you're going to start to see it shine and have those people naturally attract to you. But if you're not putting in the work, you're going to get bullshit coming back to you, right? You're going to get that bullshit you don't want. So make sure that you are doing the work internally and rebuilding that foundation, because we had to let all of that collapse this week. We had to rebuild our own foundation. That doesn't just happen within a week. This is something we've been rebuilding. We had that super full moon. We've had the eclipse season. and we had that Mercury retrograde. So during all of those big major things, those transits and stuff, that's when we have been rebuilding our foundation. And now we're coming into it this week, destructing anyways, and now we're coming into this week of rebuilding a newer foundation for us, and how to attract the right kinds of people without looking for that, because we're not focused on finding it, we're more focused on that inner healing. And by doing that, that's how that law of attraction kind of happens, and that's what I'm seeing for this week. Now I want to pull some oracle cards really quick too. I have my chakra cards, I have my daily crystal deck, and I have my self-care. So we're going to pull some of these and see with some self-care and maybe some chakras we can really focus on. Maybe crystals we can work with too, or even just the messages that we hear behind that. So I want to actually start with the chakra deck and see what is a chakra that we can really focus in on this week. For me, honestly, I'm like really connecting with seeing the third eye especially. I think there's going to be a lot of astral projecting energy coming from like the spirit world and connecting in our dreams. I'm just picking up on that. That's just a channel message. So really like focusing and listening to your dreams. You may be traveling, doing, like I said, astral projecting this week a lot. You may be excited to go to sleep and see where your dream's taking you. We have the root chakra, holistic health. So this is going to be a week wherein this is the number 7 as well. So grounding the foundation, that's what the root chakra is. We're rebuilding that foundation. There could be some health stuff. So maybe if you're focusing in on the lower part of the body, your feet, where you implant in the ground, this is going to help you connect more with the earth and connect more within your body to heal maybe some things that have been off. I feel like maybe some people have been dealing with some lower body things. If you're getting like cramps or hemorrhoids or just stuff like that happens in the lower part of the body. Maybe simple things of just doing holistic healing, grounding yourself, planting your feet into the ground, going on a nature walk or something like that. That's where you can help or begin that healing. I'm seeing like that change is happening in the lower part of the body as well. Maybe you have been having some weird health things, maybe nothing too serious, but stuff you've noticed that have been kind of off or uncomfortability. This week is where we're going to start probably seeing good changes happening. I don't like doing readings on health stuff, but that's what I'm getting. I don't like doing legal or health things, so I'm going to end that right there, but that's what Spirit was telling me. So we're going to see what is a crystal we can work with, or even a message that we need to hear for this week. If I can get these to shuffle. Let's see. Alright. We have Lemurian quartz and apophyllite. So we have practice patience and stay positive. And both of these are like clear, whitish kind of crystals. So this is like, I was saying, to be that internal, like that Gandhi kind of energy. And this is just coming in and like, clarifying like, yes, this is the right path. This is where the reading is heading. So if you can practice with crystals like this, where you can really like see through, like these crystals, they're kind of foggy, but you can still see through them. The light still shines through these crystals. How can you be that light? And, practicing patience, staying positive, knowing that you've put that work out there and now it's time to receive it. I'm getting towards the end of the week. This isn't saying be lazy, but, having that divine feminine receptive kind of energy towards the end of the week I'm picking up on is when you may start to see, like, if you practice patience, the stuff you've been working towards, that work you've been putting in is going to start being naturally attracted to you. So working with these two crystals right here can really help with that. I'm going to see what else. And then we have pink opal. Be kind to yourself. Pink opal right here. So being kind to yourself. Using positive words of affirmations may be a good thing to do, especially with Venus entering Gemini. Venus being that love, relationship planet, and Gemini being that communicator. Rewiring, how do I talk to myself? What kind of things do I say to other people? And how can I, kind of shift some words around, because words have power behind them. Maybe I haven't been really paying attention to that, and now I'm starting to see, I don't really like how, I've communicated this, so how can I change that? How can I be better without judging myself, because we're all here learning at our own pace. So being kind to yourself and just giving yourself the patience, and the people around you too. You're having things coming your way, right? And I want to do some self-care to see what is some self-care. I love these cards, the way they look too. So to see what is some self-care that everyone can take in on this week. We got make an altar. Okay, I know I need to do this, so this is for me. But like making an altar, going into your own altar or multiple altars if you have multiple of them and you've been kind of neglecting some of them, okay? You need to go in and work with them. How can you connect to your ancestors, your spirit team? Remember that astral projection I was talking about too, dreams coming in. So if you go into your altar, working some magic. We have that summer solstice. It is the perfect time to practice some magic and call in what it is you want to have now grow. You've planted the seeds. Now how can you see them flow and grow and all that fruition come to you? Go to your altar. Maybe you need to dust some things off. Maybe you need to rearrange some things, right? But doing that is going to be some really good self-care. Practicing more meditation to help with that foundation you're growing. That's going to help big time, right? And then we have positive affirmations. Hello, when do I ever even friggin' talk about, I was like, oh, in my journal, I put this affirmation. I don't do that, even though it's in the book. Like, that's just something I put out there because I knew people would like that. For me personally, I don't work that way. That's not how I do my stuff, but I know a lot of people do. And the fact that I'm talking about it, right, and then this comes out after I said it, even with the daily crystal, that is coming in. The positive affirmations. It's probably a sign for me with this altar and positive affirmations. I love myself, yada, yada, yada. Saying things like that. Going in the mirror. Remember mirroring yourself. I talked about that in the tarot as well. So going in the mirror, even put in sticky notes. So when you get up in the morning, you got to go wash your face and do your morning stuff. You got a sticky note right there. You're like half awake and you're like, oh yeah, all right, I love myself. That's how you start the day out, okay? So you can have a better day coming in, because we're going through this, like, we're after that breakdown of all that. This is how we start to rebuild ourselves. We're letting go of those old personalities, those old things that we've been taught and brainwashed with. And we're starting with some new things this week of how can I retrain all of that, because remember, we came out of the retrograde, we came out of the super full moon and the eclipse. It was this breakdown time to now rebuild this foundation, and practicing positive affirmations is going to be the key to help with becoming a better, brand new version of yourself, because we are constantly working on ourselves to transform, right? Even if you are not a Scorpio, you are still practicing to transform, okay? Now, then we also have abundance planning. Venus, not just relationships, but money, has entered Gemini. So this is the time to write down your budget, because Gemini is a writer. It is a communicator. It puts things down on paper. It speaks about it, talks to people, does all this stuff. This is a budget planning time. Now, kind of aside, but because this is, a tarot, astrology, witch channel, right? I did tweet, I think it was yesterday or the day before that, August, September, there is going to be something with finances that is going to crash and crumble. This is a prediction that I have had, okay? This is a time to start saving up for August or September. That's what I was hearing, late August, September. This is the time to start financial planning ahead, okay? So definitely do that. This can also be a week where you may get a job offer, or a new job, or looking into buying a home. We're dealing with Cancer energy anyways with the home, so this could be more times where people are like looking out to purchase a home, stuff like that. So just really paying attention to your finances and the long-term goals, and how can you budget better for the future. I'm just putting that out there, okay? I'm gonna pull one more card to wrap that. All right, we're gonna pull two more cards to wrap this up. We have energy work and make a meal, okay? Cancer season. all about nurturing, making meals, home cooked meals. I'm also seeing with this abundance budget planning, people are eating out less. People are cooking more homemade stuff and using whatever they got in the pantry that's been sitting there since 2020. And they're like, oh my God, I got to come up with something, and making an amazing meal out of it, getting more creative with your cooking and feeding people and putting your love and emotions into that. Even putting your kitchen, okay, as like another like also, like, I think people are gonna be getting more into cooking with herbs and stuff like that, to put that like magic into their food, to nurture and feed other people, because they're trying to help heal through food. That's what I'm getting. And then we have energy work. So again, that grounding. How can we realign everything within us, because we're doing this internal work? Getting out in nature, planting your feet in the ground, meditating that way. You know, meditating doesn't always have to mean sitting down like this quietly and saying, oh, not everybody's brain works that way. Meditating can even mean walking, observing the nature. You can meditate with your eyes open. You may be getting onto apps and stuff on your phone and finding like-minded people in real life, like not doing stuff on your phone, but like meetups or something. You may try something new. How can I meditate with my eyes open? You may join a new group or something, but that's what I'm seeing for this week. So trying new things, and that rebuilding of a new foundation, and releasing all that shit from the past, and just focusing on your own healing and how you can put that also not just into yourself but into the world and your loved ones around you, is really what I'm seeing for this entire week of June 20th to the 26th. So if this reading resonated, please comment down below. If you guys comment, I love to see what you guys have to say. I want to build a community of people supporting one another underneath Scorpion Goddess. And, you know, share this video if, you know somebody who will be interested in this, or, you know, you think of somebody and you're like, oh, I think, you know, don't ignore that. Pass it to them, because they're probably going to want to see there's something in there for them. All right, guys, I'm your Scorpion Goddess, and I will catch you guys next week.